Would be.
Wasp. Right, just stand still. Just stand still. I'll get her in.
Fucking hate wasp.
I know. But if you flick around, they go wild. Your eyes fucked off.
No, he's not. He's blaming me. Fuck off.
Sorry, he's by you again. I'm going wasp killer. Ow! I got stung.
Did you?
Yeah. They battered him and I got stung. Well, sound. Hello, welcome to the Welsh Bigfoot organisation. My name's Gar,
I'm Tom.
and today we've got kind of it's an alien kind of.
Yeah, alien theme to the whole podcast this evening.
We don't usually really like to do themes, but seeing that there's a lot of it out there at the moment, especially, well, we'll get into that in a second, but leading up to events happening in September.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty obvious choice to try and focus on that.
And we're all about obvious, and we aren't easy.
Exactly, obvious and easy. All we're about.
So sound, yeah. So the first one we want to talk about, man, is going to be this viral sensation that's hit about storm in Area 51.
Yeah, it's been going on for like the past month or something, is it? At least that's so long I've
Yeah.
been on my radar kind of vibe like that.
That's it. And I've listened to a podcast as well, right, called Sick and Wrong, and if you go over and listen to that as well, because they're cracking, they had the guy who created the page on it.
I've seen an interview with him, yeah.
And fair dues to him, right, he just seems like a bit of a happy-go-lucky chap, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's posted something and thought it'd be a good joke, and well, snowballed would not be the word, I don't think, would it?
No, what was the last count I saw was something like 1.6 million people.
They said they're going, yeah. It's reaching a point where they're rivaling the size of nations' armies at this point.
So the date, even if you guys want to get out there or you live in Nevada, is September 20th,
Yeah.
2019. They're meeting at a tourist spot just outside, about 3 miles outside.
Yeah, it is the actual visitor centre for
That's it.
Roswell, I believe, yeah.
I'm getting it up on the Facebook page now. But yeah, what do we reckon?
I mean, it was a good idea, it was a funny idea.
It's hilarious.
It's one of the biggest viral fads that's happening in a very long time. But obviously this is a joke that has got out of hand. I mean, first of all, even if there's nothing in there, worst case scenario, there's nothing in there, even if 1 million people turn up, it's the military.
They're gonna get shot, yeah.
They're gonna get shot, and if there is alien technology in there, and a fucking shitload of people turn up, what's gonna stop them using the alien technology on them? They could just be all obliterated. It could be like Mars attacks, but with humans attacking humans.
I first saw this pop up on my Facebook feed, and I think it was like about 30,000 people or something. It was really early doors, about 30,000 people, and I thought, well, I've got to look at it this way, objectively, right? So, I think, when was it? Last year or the year before, the government actually admitted that there was an Area 51. It's the first time.
A couple of years back,
yeah, 2 years
back.
They actually, first time ever, they admitted that there is an Area 51.
It, yeah.
It's at that point when they officially accept it, officially, documented, release the paper, so it's there, that they move all the shit out.
Yeah, I mean, this was the first thing me and you said to each other about it, wasn't it? It's like, yeah, they're not going to admit that it's there if they've still got stuff there, if they did at any point.
Yeah, if they did at any point, and then, we know for fact, well, there's nothing for fact, but by documents they've said that, there's some really hugely classified technology there, like the U-2 spy plane was made there, the stealth bomber, a U-2 spy plane was made there. They're developing stuff there, or they might not be developing anymore, but over the years they have developed stuff there. The Blackbird, isn't it? That Blackbird. That was developed there because there's photos of a Blackbird that they've got on. It's like on a massive pole.
Right. Yeah.
And satellite photos have caught this on there because they were putting it on a pole and they were firing rate to see if it was stealth or not. Test it out. So these things have been made there, and they've got to fly them around. They've got to fly them there. They've got to test them there. There's enough runway to land these things there. People have seen shit.
Yeah.
Now, part of me wants to believe that there's other stuff there,
Of course we all do.
especially after watching the newest Bob Lazar documentary.
Yeah.
You know, because the guy, rather than being your average kind of, average UFO nutcase,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? He's a highly educated, coming from a scientific background. You know, there are things that he can talk about, that he can back up.
Exactly.
And he was said that he saw nothing apart from the propulsion system. You know, he saw the crafts and stuff, but he was there to what's it what they
He's
call
backward
it?
engineering
Backward
technology.
engineering technology, which I can see would happen, and I'd like to think happened.
Yeah, I mean, he first came out about this in like the 80s.
Yeah,
Late 80s, I think. And he's only just resurfaced again because he's reached the point where he's not receiving as many threats as he was. Plus, he's been that public about everything. If they did try to kill him at this point, everybody would know it was the government and basically confirm everything he's been saying.
Yeah.
So he has resurfaced again in recent years, and he started talking about it again. And to be fair, he has also commented on this event. He has pointed out that they will shoot on sight.
Yeah.
It's a military base, they will kill anybody that comes close enough. And he's also pointed out that the technology was never actually at that site. It was in one of the outlying sister sites, as it was.
S4, isn't it? That's where he worked.
Which is where he was located, and he claims Area 51 has always just been for testing new aircraft.
Yeah.
So,
But,
I mean, he's the man you want to listen to if you're going to listen to people, I think.
yeah, and again, go and look at that documentary. Watch it on Netflix. It's awesome, because I was small when I first read about Bob Lazar. You know, I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he's not changed the story.
No.
Every
exactly the
single
same.
fact that he says on it,
Even with threats to his family's life. And
hasn't embellished the facts. Nothing's changed in the way he says it. And one part of it as well is that during the time that all this was happening, he was involved in a prostitution ring. And he was going to go to jail. He was going to go to jail.
Yeah.
And he's still in court, still stuck to his story that he worked in Area 51.
Yeah.
And you know, at that point, that's the time that you fess up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Seriously, that's the time you fess up.
If there's got to be a time, then that's the time, Luke.
Yeah. So this. So I was checking it out. Where's the Storm Area 51?
I
just want to see how many people are on it now. Storm
Have you seen the plans that people are making for the attack?
No.
There's actual plans. So they've started. How would you explain it? Started giving people regiments, I suppose. So there's the Naruto runners, or Naruto, however it's pronounced, that manga. So they've got them. They've got Kyles, and loads of other different names for different groups of people, and they're all given their different jobs and which areas to attack from. People are putting a lot of thought into it.
What's going to happen, man, right? There's either going to be like 100,000 people there and 80% of them are going to get shot.
Yeah.
And they're still not going to get in. You've got to remember as well is that from the gate, it's 3 miles from the visitor centre to the gate.
Yeah.
Then from the gate to actually any building is like something like 8 miles.
Something like that, yeah.
Or more, even more.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Break into the gate and just have to run? And
you're going to get taken out.
The guys are going to be massive, sort of fat dudes, right, in sweatpants, who haven't washed in like 15 days. They're not the fittest guys on the planet,
No.
Yes, I can't find.
No matter how much Monster you drink, it's.
How much Monster do you drink?
Yeah, it's. Oh, the flip side is, I mean, I really hope it doesn't just come and go and nobody's turned up. I kind of hope it's like 10 really nerdy guys just turn up together, realise they've got no chance and go away disappointed, but with a bit of...
It's 3 in the morning in the meeting as well, and the dude who organised it is like, he's like, half of me now just wants to go out there myself, and like, we'll put on some bands, and we'll have a barbecue or whatever. Some famous chef as well said he's going to cook for everyone. It's wicked.
That's another part I'm loving, is the celebrities who've gotten involved. I mean, I know I've seen Danny Trejo has said he's ready for it. Who else has said? Chuck Norris. What's his name from How I Met Your Mother? Neil Patrick Harris.
Patrick Harris.
A load of celebrities have jumped on it. I'm sure I've even seen a selfie of
1.6 million.
David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson saying
God.
"See you in Area 51."
That would be ace. They do.
So I mean, it's been a huge thing.
There's a huge potential for cameos on kickstarting people's careers.
I mean, like you're saying, like go out there and get some bands and stuff. It wouldn't surprise me that much if this became like an annual gathering of people that did just develop into a festival of some sort.
That'd be amazing, yeah.
Maybe not a music festival, but maybe like a festival for people who love UFOs.
Well, like Alien Con and stuff.
Yeah, that type of thing.
Anymore.
I mean, if you can get the okay to do it that close to Area 51, it'd be the fucking perfect place, wouldn't it?
But there's a few people talking as well, obviously, that, like we just discussed about the moving it, you know, that's not a secret base anymore. There's other places like the Dolce test base, DULCE test base. They reckon now that's where all this real secret shit's going on. And that there's trains inside going from like Nevada, Groom Lake, so for Area 51 over to Dolce to Washington to like the underground, like a monorail type thing. That'd be well cool.
That would.
I want to see that. Yeah, so yeah, Storm Area 51 is a good one, and on September 20th, so it'll be September 21st by our time, and it's 3 in the morning, September 20th.
No, if it's 3 a.m.
Well, it'll be like 9 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah.
Here, and I'm thinking we should get together and do like a live or something. That would be amazing.
That would be pretty good, actually. We'll see if there's some kind of live stream from there.
There definitely will be.
Yeah.
It'll be all over. If anyone turns up, they're gonna have their phones in there.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, I think we should do that.
We should do it. I'll book it off work.
We'll have a one-off special live feed, live stream or something about it, and we can just comment on what we're watching as it goes along.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd enjoy that.
So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. And we might actually do this one on like the investigations we've always said we're gonna do.
Yeah.
We will at some point do those. I'm still up for going to Caerphilly Mountains.
Caerphilly Mountains is a nice easy one, really. It's not too far away. It's about an hour. We still gotta go to your mate's bar.
The basement to do a ghost hunt.
Yeah, we'll do a ghost.
That would be interesting.
Although I can't stand up in it, so I don't know. You're gonna.
No, I can't stand up either. We'll have to be sat down in the wet all day at night, but at least there's an open bar above it. Next thing we want to go into, Gar discovered, those of you who don't know, we're based in Swansea in South Wales in the UK, and Gar's discovered that there is actually a Swansea UFO group called SUFON, SUFON.
The Swansea UFO Network.
That's the word I was forgetting. So, we were having a look at it today before we started filming the podcast, and we noticed there's a section on there titled Abductions. So obviously, first thing we wanted to do was have a look at what abduction cases they had for our area. And it was scrolling through quickly, and we noticed a lot of these people seem to have the name Zack, which we thought, oh, they just changed all the names to Zack. But it turns out there's this one guy whose name isn't Zack, that is an alias. But between 1989 and 2013, he claims to have been abducted roughly 9 different times, and it had experience with multiple different creatures or aliens, whatever you want to call them, with different shaped UFOs that he sighted, and it's a pretty out there case. I mean, if I start us off with a little bit, I'm not going to read the entire thing, we'll tell you where to find it, but so in July or August in 89 or 90, Zack was 7 to 9 years old and was living in Caerphilly. During the summer holidays, he remembers that one night between 2 and 4 a.m. he found himself outside his house in his bedclothes. For some reason he went for a walk, ended up near some fields on a rough path known as the track. He saw a tall, cone-shaped UFO hovering nearly about 100 yards from him, and it was black or green and appeared to be split into segments, and on each segment was a shimmering green light which may have been windows. So, I mean, he's 79 years old. I mean, this could be a dream at this point. There is more to that, but I won't go into it now. As I said, we'll be here all day otherwise. Then later that summer, he saw a disc-shaped UFO at about 9 or 10 p.m. Yeah, it was hovering over the hillside at about 700 to 1,000 feet, quite large and covered in red and yellow lights, randomly flashing on and off. There was no sound. It was stationary as they watched it for 3 to 5 minutes, and after a while the boys turned to talk to each other, and Zack doesn't remember seeing it go. So those are 2 sightings of UFOs he has, and then it goes through quite a few things. I mean, first of all, they've got something called the Shadow Monk entity. So this was about 7 foot tall, humanoid in shape, 7 foot tall. He couldn't see its face, it was just complete blackness. It was wearing a hood with frayed edges on it, as I say, about humanoid in shape at 7 foot tall, and it pinned him down by some force when he was in bed.
You said it moved over Zack's body?
It moved over his body and pinned him down, and then suddenly found himself in his back garden, the colours of which were distorted, and the sky was clear. He walked around a corner into the main part of the garden, and he saw the hooded figure flying away into the sky at a very steep angle, its cloak moving in the wind. Now, reading that, that reminds me of Mothman descriptions.
Yes, and I was just going to say owls. That's our owl point for the day.
Yeah, that is our owl point for the day. That is a good. Yeah, and like we said, Mothman, it could be extraterrestrial, it could be interdimensional, it could be an owl, it could be a big old fucking owl.
It could be an interdimensional owl.
It could be. It could. I mean, and it would still be alien.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be all 3 at once. So I mean, that I find interesting in that story, because that does fit descriptions that people have seen all over the world. So I mean, maybe there is something to this.
You couldn't see his face, and nothing about like eyes, nothing about.
Couldn't see eyes, no, but maybe. Well, yeah, I suppose not. But so saw that again. I'm not going to go all the way through it. I mean, it could be sleep paralysis, apart from you wouldn't end up in your garden watching it fly away if that was the case. But then skipping down to
this bit. Sorry, I don't know if this is what you're going to bring up next, but he recalled he's convinced. So his family and stuff and his friends convinced him that it was a dream. But he said that what taken place couldn't have been a dream, right?
Yeah.
And he told his mother about it, and she told him that she too had experienced similar things when she was younger.
Oh, I missed that bit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh wow, right, okay, yeah.
So his mum had experienced the same kind of stuff in the same kind of area when she was younger.
Again, that kind of links to the same thing like Mothman and things then as well. I mean,
returns, keeps coming back, it's kind of territorial.
And there's the Owl Man in Cornwall, which pretty much bang on fits the description of Mothman.
Yeah.
I did post a little tidbit about that up on the page a couple of months back, and a couple of the fans did instantly comment, well, that's Mothman.
Well, you'd think.
So, maybe Mothman is some kind of alien creature, and maybe there is something to these things.
Yeah. Also, as well, like I found this site right when I was doing a night shift in work. I'm not going to name any names, like obviously, but one of the guys I work with, apparently he knows. No, sorry, his wife knows one of the guys who organised this.
Right.
So that's how I found it. He went. I showed him the Bigfoot podcast, and he went, "Oh man, one of my wife's mates is blah blah blah," and so I searched it up. I found it. And it's not a really easy thing to find, I gotta be honest. It's not really high ranked on Google, but I found it, and he goes, so I started reading about Zack, and then 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm like reading out to a group of us who are working nights, kind of out there, accounts, and this guy, I'm gonna call him Barry, right? His name's not Barry, obviously.
Not Barry Welsh.
The same guy, he goes, oh yeah, I've seen a UFO. And I went, yeah, come on, Barry. He said, oh no, real. He was like, the church in Clydach?
Right, yeah.
And I was like, yeah. He said, I was coming home, it was about 11 o'clock at night in the winter, and above the church, a massive oval, orange oval with a blue ring, just lifted up. And he said, and I watched it for about 20 seconds, he said, and I just went, gone. And I went,
cool.
Barry, I need you to just sit down with me and just, like, I'll record, like, put it on my phone. I said, let's just do it, like, an audio thing now. And he was like, yeah, maybe. But then we had to work, and it all got very sad. And we had to.
That's true. I mean, I've seen orange balls that shape over Swansea Bay. I mean, I've always thought it's those Chinese lanterns, but
yeah, I've seen things that, like, I've had to do a double take.
Yeah.
But then, like, I always kind of just my mind shoos them away as like.
Yeah, just try to rationalise it.
I rationalise it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think most normal people do. It's no offence to anybody. Maybe not normal, but you know what I mean.
There's no normal.
But yeah, so yeah, this account from Zack, it goes very long. I'm not gonna read much more of it to you, but he's seen different what he calls entities. So there's that hooded figure that we were just talking about. He's seen V-shaped UFOs as well as the ones we've already mentioned. Now, this is the one that interests me. Is in 2007 when he's in Merthyr Tydfil, something he calls the Nordic entity. So when he was 26, he woke up during the night to see a blonde-haired woman wearing a silvery blue suit. She was about 5.5 feet tall, slender build and white skin, and he observed her for about 5 seconds before she faded away. Now, that to me, that stands out in it to me, because that sounds more like a ghostly apparition than any kind of like life form. But what we've read.
No, I actually just mind blown. When I'm reading, I've read all these now a couple of times, and I always, because they're looking back at the past, and they're in the past tense, I've always thought that Zack would be like in his 50s or 60s. But
yeah, he's 26.
He'd be 38 years old.
Yeah, he's not
nearly my age.
Yeah. Between the two of us, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if we could try and hunt him down.
That's it. So if one of you guys is Zack, right, you probably know that you've been talked about on the Swansea UFO Network website. Please contact us. You can either get us through YouTube or Welsh Bigfoot Organisation at outlook.com.
Oh, we've got a proper email address now.
We've got a proper email address.
Oh, sweet.
And the Facebook page as well, Welsh Bigfoot Organisation. Shout out to us. We would love, if you're still local, we would love to have a chat with you. Of course, we keep it confidential again,
Yeah.
But it'd be wicked. Yeah, sound, man.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be really cool, wouldn't it?
That would be awesome. But yeah, and then you've seen the regular greys as well, and there's quite the grey accounts go into quite a lot of detail. They're your typical grey accounts with sort of operating kind of telepathic speech.
Yeah, they communicate with him telepathically.
It's your pretty standard grey kind of thing, but yeah, and then it's the markings on his skin after the abductions, and it talks about him trying to figure out what they could have been.
And it stops in 2012. If obviously this account only stops in 2012, so again, Zack, if you're out there and you're still having these kind of things happen to you,
exactly. We'd love to speak to you about it. It would be fantastic.
So I'll pimp this website now. So it's www.sufon. That's Sierra Uniform Foxtrot Oscar November.co.uk. Swansea UFO Network.co.uk. Check it out. It's alright, actually, yeah.